Welcome to Childcare Rockstar Radio. I am your host, Kris Murray. Childcare leaders around the globe are breaking through challenges, leading the way in innovation, testing new best practices, and impacting children and families in a much more powerful and positive way than ever before. Each week, join me for interviews with early childhood leaders and experts that will leave you inspired to become the next childcare rockstar. Now, let's go. This is Childcare Rockstar Radio, episode 216, featuring me, Kris Murray, your host. Welcome back, guys. I am very excited for today's episode. I've got some pretty cool content for you. So just sit back and spend the next 40 minutes or so hanging with me here in the podcast studio in the mountains of Colorado. It's a beautiful fall day, and I am vibing along with the universe right now. It's pretty cool because I just was at the Childcare Success Summit a week and a half ago, delivering content related to the release of my new book, The Antidote to Fear. And this is what it looks like. I'm very excited. It has been selling like hotcakes from Amazon, and I'm grateful. Thank you if you have been one of the people that purchased the book. People have been really feeling it and enjoying it and getting some interesting concepts, ideas, and inspiration from it, which is exactly what I was hoping for. So thank you. Also, we are doing a women's retreat in Maui called Mana Awakening. I've been talking about that on the socials. And we are basically sold out at this point. So especially at the point that you're going to be hearing this podcast in mid-November, we are definitely sold out and taking a waiting list at this time. So that indicates to me that there's some pretty cool pent-up demand for women to experience something new and fresh for their lives together in Maui or wherever we end up going in the future. So thank you. If you're along for the ride on this retreat with me, I can't wait to be with you and experience Hawaii together and Mana Awakening. Today's episode is called What Does Trust the Process Really Mean? I'm wearing my Trust the Process t-shirt. This came from one of our Childcare Success Academy guiding principles. Way back in 2018-ish, I crafted the guiding principles with the team to bring kind of a sense of core values and philosophy and kind of like how we do what we do together as a tribe and a community inside the academy. What are the principles that guide us? And one of the principles is trust the process. And I thought I would spend today talking about what that really means, because we don't really talk about it a lot, and 3 ways that you can trust your process more fully, bringing it to your attention. Giving you these 3 ideas, these 3 takeaways should help you lean in to trusting yourself, backing yourself, your higher self, your true self, and questioning and self-doubting less. Part of my journey has definitely been characterized by self-doubt and fear, and that's why I wanted to write about it in my book, Antidote to Fear, and give you 10 ways to shift out of that fear immediately, because I wanted you to have those strategies and those methods or things that you can lean on in times of fear and self-doubt so that I can help guide you as your coach and an inspiration to shift out of that, which is everything in life, is to shift out of your self-doubt and shift into your power and into a place of knowing and confidence and alchemizing that self-doubt into an amazing space energetically. So let's dive in. I don't want to get too woo-woo here, but I also want to let you know and thank our sponsors today for this podcast episode are my friends at Trainual. And if you didn't listen to my episode 2, just 2 episodes ago with Jamie Hartman here at Childcare Rockstar Radio, you're definitely going to want to go back and listen to that episode. It's really good. And it's talking about your operational consistency. And if you have your operational stuff together, using a system or software or tips or shortcuts that you can get your team inspired to help you with your SOPs and with your operations, consistency and documentation, and training. So all of that is brought to you by our friends at Trainual. And they want you to know that running your childcare center shouldn't feel like a full-time game of telephone tag that you're constantly reinventing the wheel. Such a waste of time, right? You're babysitting your staff instead of leading your business or leading an empowered team. It's a never-ending onboarding cycle of new hires, or you're the only one who knows the playbook, who knows how anything works. You're the ultimate bottleneck in your business. So you got to step out of that. And if that's where you are right now, I want you to definitely check out Trainual. It's the all-in-one operations platform that keeps your center running smoothly without the chaos. With Trainual, it's easier than ever to document, organize, and train your staff. Learn more and start streamlining today at trainual.com, and be sure to mention Childcare Success. All right. So let's dive right in. I want to share with you some of my personal stories and things that I have overcome in this journey of trusting the process and where this really came from. I have shared from stage at Summit and on this podcast about the big moment, my yoga mat moment in 2007, where I got a intuitive message about childcare. And it just came in a place of stillness as I was in Shavasana. And oftentimes, if you practice pondering or meditating or yoga and more awakened moments in your life where you have stillness, that the stillness is a place where messages can be heard more frequently. If you have a lot of noise and no space in your life to hear such messages, whether they're from yourself or God or source or the divine, whatever you call it, you're not going to be able to hear those messages because you're going to be too noisy and your brain is not going to allow the space for it to come in and land. So I highly recommend that you create some kind of a stillness or meditation style practice. Maybe it's just journaling in the morning when it's completely quiet in your world, but it needs to be a space of quiet. And by having that process or that practice, you can lean into when you get those messages. So when I got that message on the mat, I immediately questioned it. I heard it clearly. It registered. I had an awareness of it. And I didn't poo-poo it. I leaned into my intuition. And you can also consider that to be like a sixth sense, if you will. Everybody has it. I am sure there has been a time when you have had some kind of a gut feeling. It wasn't from your head. It was from your body. You got a message. You got a feeling and you followed it. And maybe your girlfriend or spouse said, that worked out so well. How did you know that that was going to be the thing to do? Whatever it was. Maybe it was little or big. You just knew. Your answer is, I don't know. I just got a feeling. I just had a feeling, right? And so that is the thing that you want to tap into more so. That is the first way of trusting the process. So trusting the process, number one, is when you create the space and you create a place of quiet where you can feel into that intuitional sense, where it just comes in and you feel it, is to go take action on it. Write it down, go home and Google it, which is what I did when I got the childcare message. And then I shortly thereafter purchased a website that was for sale, selling online daycare kits and forms, how to start a daycare. And I was off to the races. How did I know that that was the right thing to do? I spent $15,000 on that website purchase. Well, I got the prospectus. The website was earning about $1,500 a month in revenue. So I figured at the worst case, it would take me 10 months to pay off my purchase. And then I would be able to have something that was generating money, that had customers already, right? That I could grow. Well, that second part is just the rationalization or the strategy or the brain power that goes behind the intuition, right? So I justified it knowing that I was smart enough to be able to figure it out, and it excited me and it felt like the right thing to do. So it was probably a combination of heart and head, if that makes sense, to move forward and spend that money. But so many times, guys, I have seen you and people that we work with get a feeling, get an intuitional knowing, but then their brain stops them. Their ego cuts it short. The self-doubt causes them to pause. Right now, I've got 2 or 3 women who are wanting to work with me. They know that it's right to work with me as a coach. And yet they say it's not the right time. It's not the right time, because what happens is fear comes in, right? And it stops you from taking action on your knowing. It's your self-talk. It's the self-doubt. It's you're letting your fear, your ego, the small you, stop you from your power, from the possibility. And so I just want you to note that. And if that's happening in your life right now, where you're not trusting yourself, you're not trusting your process, just know that, just be aware of it. You don't need to do anything. And certainly you don't need to judge yourself or feel guilty or feel bad or blame yourself. But just be aware that you may be letting your ego or your mind or your small version of you stop the limitless version of you. So the longer you do that, the more you're going to stay stuck and stay small. So the second thing I want to talk about in what does trust the process really mean is, well, let's say you are having that fear and self-doubt. So how do you actually move past it? If it's meant to be that your process wants you to play big, to go to that next step, to follow your feeling, to follow your intuition. But say you got an intuitional download about something really big, like starting another business or moving to a different part of the country or shifting out of the relationship that you're in and being single for a while, whatever it is, those are big things, right? And so it can be really scary to go towards that. That happened for me. I knew in my heart, definitely deep in my intuition, that I was in the wrong relationship in 2020, 2021. And I needed to find a coach to help me trust my process. I needed to have somebody ask me questions and help me dive into it and peel back the layers to understand, would I really be able to do this? Did I have the strength to do this? Is this the right decision? If I'm doubting and trusting my process, is it real? Does that mean it's really true? Like, what's really true for me? So sometimes watching videos, reading books, and hiring coaches and mentors can help you a ton. I'm a huge fan, as you guys know, of investing in those modalities to help me discover. And also I use a lot of journaling to help me really discover what's my truth if I'm confused. And so that's could be another strategy for you to write down and go buy a journal and start doing this, guys. But the second way to really trust the process and understand what it really means is to embrace your fear. When you feel fear, the ultimate strategy, the ultimate antidote to fear is to move towards it. It's to actually embrace it and to feel it and hug it. Actually, like you just kind of want to love it. And I know that sounds weird, but if you can love the fear that's showing up because it's just the isness, it is what it is, right? It's showing up. So not running from it, not pushing it down, not avoiding it, not blaming it, not feeling guilty, just hug it. You guys, many of you guys are big huggers that listen to this podcast. So just think about hugging your fear, because it's there to support you. It's actually there oftentimes to keep you safe and just to give you that alert that there's something there for you. It's supportive. How can this be supportive for me? Ask yourself that question. But at the base is just processing it. So trusting the process of processing the fear, move towards it. When you move towards it, you shift the energy out of the actual fear itself, and you can love it. So your action here is that next time that you feel afraid or you feel self-doubt, for something that you know is right, but you're afraid to go towards it, is just feel like you're hugging it. Feel in your body. You can even go to your bedroom or the bathroom or someplace private, shut the door to your office and practice actually like feel the fear in your body and actually give yourself a hug. And then think about how that feels and feel into that. You got to just love it. Let me talk a little bit about vibration and how this ties in. When you are in fear and desperation and grief is also, these are emotions at the bottom. Humiliation, fear, grief are at the bottom of the vibrational plane. So as a human, we put out energy. You can feel it. It's just energy. It's not woo woo. It's just energetic. It's actually neutrons and electrons and protons in our body. They are firing all the time. This is scientific. So that vibrational energy, when you're in fear and loathing and grief, you're in the bottom of the vibrational spectrum. When you're in love and gratitude, love is the highest of the vibrational spectrum, the highest emotion. So the opposite of fear isn't courage, guys. The opposite of fear is actually love. So the way to alchemize the fear is to love it. That's it. Another strategy, if that feels too weird for you, another great tactical strategy is just to ask yourself when you're in that fear, what are 3 things that I'm grateful for? Go. And just tap right into gratitude. You just go, boom, 3 things I'm grateful for. And you just feel it. Like could be your teammates, your children, and your spouse, or your dog, or your home, whatever. The experiences you just had on vacation, whatever, the ocean. Feel into that gratitude. Really feel it. And your fear will completely dissolve. It will completely alchemize. It's impossible to feel gratitude or love and fear at the same time in your body. So that's the second way to trust the process and notice when your fear is stopping you from trusting your process, that you can actually automatically shift that fear back into love and just love it. So there's a connection between trusting the process. You get that intuitional hit, that knowing, like I just knew. And when it's really powerful, when that intuitional knowing is really powerful, is when you truly just love it. And they go, your friends or your spouse might be like, why did you know to do that? But then why did you actually do it so beautifully and so effortlessly? Is because I just love to. Like the purest form of knowing that I want to do it and I'm going to go do it is I love to. I felt to, right? So hopefully that just gives you a little bit more. If you feel it in your heart, you just go towards what you love to do. Sometimes if folks I'm coaching, they don't know what they want in their life. They're not clear. There's so much noise and lack of spaciousness that they don't have clarity about what they love. And I just go, what do you love? And might take them a little while to ponder on it, ponder on what you love. And it will come in if you give it spaciousness. And when you go towards what you love, 80% of the time or more, your life will absolutely change. And so for me, with my relationship, even though it was nice and comforting to be in that love relationship, I didn't love it. Like I might have loved, him and the kids and the blended house and, but I didn't love it like with all of my heart and everything that I have to give. So my truth was that I needed to exit and I needed to create spaciousness in my life. and just be with myself for a while. And that was part of it too, is just to be alone and to embrace self-love and really dive in deeply to what that means. And it took a couple years for me to process that and trust the process to really dive deeply into self-love. I just wasn't meant to be in a relationship. I needed to do a lot of healing and processing. So, two ways to trust what the process really means is the number one, trust your sixth sense, follow your feeling. Number two, if you're afraid to follow your feeling or it's big and it would require a lot of shifting in your life, is work on, just journal it, be present for it, ponder it, and go towards the fear. Just love it. If you go towards what you love and you keep going towards what you love, it will alchemize, it will shift, and trust your process. Trust the big you. She's got your back. Okay. And then the final thing I want to talk about is that component about it's because you love it, is that means that it's true for you. So trust the process also means, what's your truth? Speaking your truth, standing up for yourself, understanding what is your real truth. And this was where working with Kira, I talk about it in my book, and then working with Amir currently in this group, and Kira's with us in this group. So it's almost like having several coaches in one, because lots of people in the group have been in this work for 10 or 15 plus years. So it's amazing. But I talk about in the Antidote to Fear, when I met Kira, and she's excellent at helping me really dive into what is my truth. And if I'm BSing myself, and believe me, I have been a master over the years of BSing myself. And that's probably a protection mechanism. And it's also cowardly, because I don't really want to face my truth. You might be able to relate to that one. So how did I go from oftentimes not really being truthful with myself, which is usually more of the ego. The egoic mind is telling myself a story because it doesn't want me to really feel my truth. It's a protection. But it also can be my high horse, the big shot, protecting my big shotness, right? So if you have that going on, it's how do you really trust and know that you're telling yourself the truth and you're not BSing yourself? And that's a hard one. It takes time and it takes practice. Again, everything I'm sharing with you, I've been practicing for 4 years and longer, because I bought the Eckhart Tolle, the book, Power of Now, and A New Earth, bought both of those books when he was back on Oprah back in like 2010. And I never read them. So anyways, it's been in my world for a couple decades. Anyways, neither here nor there. Doesn't really mean anything if you don't actually read the book or do the work. So Kira really helped me trust my process and back myself, because a habit that I've had, and maybe you can feel into this too, is I've get the knowing. Like most recently, I saw a painting that my friend August from Australia painted. She's a gorgeous painter and a dear friend of mine. And she posted on her Facebook this painting. And the minute I saw it, I knew it was for me. I felt it was for me. But then I doubted myself. The self-doubting Kris Murray it's like my little monkey on the shoulder, right? Going, oh, do you really need that painting? Like, where are you going to put it? All those little self-talk baloney comes in. And then I didn't get the painting. And Kira was like, what the F, man? Like, are you going to trust your process or not? Like, you felt it so clearly. And so don't backpedal on your process. That's a wisdom I have come to really feel and live, and knowing that is a habit that I have had. And so for me, trust the process is really, really big, because it's helping me live the life that I was meant to live. And no matter what your life is, it's the life you were meant to live. Because if you weren't living it, then it wouldn't have been meant to be anyways. So don't get caught up in that. But the point is, you can open up to a whole new level of intuitive decision making, and just the way that you live your life is, if you back yourself on your initial gut feel, like buying that painting, and you just buy it, and now I have it hanging in the most fabulous place, and I get to see it every day. And I love it. The thing is, I love it. I love to have that painting hanging in my living room. And it was meant for me. But if I had doubted and let self-doubt rule the day, then I would not have said yes to the painting, which actually ended up being a lot less expensive than I was expecting, because it had to be shipped from Australia. And it doesn't matter. It's just it's an amazing thing. And it's a great story to symbolize what I'm talking about. I'm much happier to have that painting there than what was there before on the wall. And also it connects me to my friend August, who's the painter. So anyways, next time you feel yourself getting a download, getting a vibe to do something, and you go, oh, that's for me. You just feel it, right? In your heart, you just love it. But then you don't actually act on it. That is what makes life feel less. That is what helps you feel less than. And that's not what we want, right? You want to feel into your limitlessness, into your powerfulness. All right. So those are 3 things that I want you to take away for what does trust the process really mean? Now, I want to close with one more thing that I write about in my book that I have learned and have been practicing over the last 2.5 years. And I shared it with someone privately recently at the summit in a one-on-one moment. And she was just like, whoa, I've never heard this take on this topic before. This is a very commonly talked about topic called manifestation. Everybody wants to learn how to manifest their dream life, right? And it usually comes from more of a place of ego, because the ego gets very excited, and it's very normal for my ego to get really excited when I think about what I can manifest in my life. And then I learned from Amir that manifestation is a giving process. And I'm like, what? What does that mean? Manifestation is a giving process. So many coaches, speakers, authors will tell us that if we use affirmations, or we tap into our deservingness, and we stop our negative self-talk, that those are the things that are limiting us from having the life of our dreams, having everything that we want. And yes, some of that is true, depending on the energy it's coming from. But I guess for me, manifestation is a giving process. The big shift that it made for me was an energetic shift to be like, well, what is the energy that I'm actually manifesting from? And what's in my heart space when I'm wanting to manifest this? Am I manifesting it from a mind place, my head and my ego? Or am I thinking about, what do I want to give to this dream? How do I want to feel when this thing comes into my life? And so if it's something material, like a beautiful new sports car that you would like to manifest, it's more helpful and more likely that you're going to be able to manifest it if you come from an energy of, how am I going to feel when I'm driving this car? The feeling that I have when I'm behind the wheel is a feeling of freedom and love. And I just love it. And I'm going to show up more loving and more freely loving and free as a human for the people in my life. I'm going to be a funner version of me from a place of joy and heartfelt. not from a place of ego when I'm in the car or when I have it in my garage. And so that's a different energy than I want to have everybody think that I'm hot stuff and sexy and I'm going to attract guys because I'm going to be, driving around with this hot sports car. Different energy, right? So you got to really check in with yourself. So let me give you even a deeper example. And I talk about it in my book, which is manifesting as a giving process around relationship. And so when I was ready to meet someone for a love relationship, I tapped into the energy that I was wanting to meet this person with. Is it an energy of need or is it an energy of giving? Is it taking? Like, I need to have love in my life, and why can't I find a man or a relationship? And I'm feeling lonely, and I want somebody who's 6'2" and has a sexy body, or I want somebody who has money, who can take care of me. Take care of me. That is the most taking energy I can imagine. Well, what are you going to give to that relationship? So by shifting your energy around the manifesting, you will shift what comes into your life. 100%. I know this because it's happened to me over and over and over again. Now that I'm practicing with my heart space, is I would love to be in a book club. I would love to have a new circle of girlfriends. Okay. Literally, I thought about what I would give to those ladies as friends, what would be my friendship giving energy, what I would give to the book club, the enjoyment, the learning, the laughter, the joy, the food, the camaraderie, the friendship, the safe space. Those are all things that I wanted to give to a new group of friends in a book club. And literally within 72 hours, guys, after thinking about it, I didn't even write that down. I just thought about what I would love is to have that. It showed up. And I was completely blown away. So whether it's a car, a relationship, new friends, but it has to be for you, and it has to be something that's very clear that you love. Technically, you can't manifest for other people. So yes, I would love for somebody in my family who's not speaking to another member of my family to mend their fences and come back together and be speaking again. For example, my brother and my nephew. I would love that, but I can't manifest for them. But interestingly, just by focusing on what I would love for my family members, that did actually happen when I was back in Ohio. And my nephew came and stayed with us at my brother's house, and we all hung out, and it was fantastic after 5 years of not speaking. So don't know about that. I'm still pouring into that and experimenting with the whole manifesting for people who are in my world. But what I know for sure is when you manifest from a place of what you're going to give to energetically to that manifestation, what are you going to give? I want it to feel, for me, a love relationship. I wrote this in my journal before Kris showed up, was I want to give and receive pleasure. I want to light up his world. I want to hold space for him when he's feeling down or when he needs to be held space for. I want to be supportive for him. I want to create beauty in our home for him. I want to share a beautiful life together, but also a simply joyful life. And I wrote those things down in my journal. And words have power. Don't think that they don't. So when I wrote that in my journal, and then I wrote him a letter from a heartfelt space of just openness and love and manifestation as a giving energy. And I wrote him a letter to my future love, and I didn't know when he was going to show up. And I blew out the candle and I read the letter out loud. And 6 weeks later, he was in my Bumble account. And that was it. So I'm sharing with you about trusting your process. And these things work, guys. I am living and practicing them every day. It's a different way of living. It's an awareness of when you get that intuitional download or hit or message to take action on it. It's an awareness that when you feel fear around taking action on it or anything in your life is just to embrace it, hug the fear and love it. That's the opposite energy. It will shift you out of that vibration immediately. It will alchemize it. Feel gratitude, feel appreciation for what you have in your life, truly, and manifest from that space. Manifest from the giving energy, the loving energy, and everything in your world can change. And it might not happen overnight. So have patience with it. Keep trusting. Trust your process. Back yourself. Trust yourself. You've got this. You know, the big you knows. It's just waiting for the little you to get out of the way. That's all I got for you today, guys. I hope that something I've shared has landed for you, take you a little bit deeper on this journey with me. The book is The Antidote to Fear by me, Kris Murray. Thank you so much for investing in a copy at Amazon. If you did, I think you'll get a lot out of it, especially if you're on an entrepreneurial journey. But even if you're not, I think you'll get a lot out of it. And this has been Childcare Rockstar Radio. I am so grateful and appreciative for you to be along this journey with me, to keep listening and spending your time with me. If you ever want to reach out to me, I am here, Kris@childcaresuccess.com. You also can find me on Facebook Messenger. And all the best to you. So go put this stuff into practice. And I look forward to hearing about how it's working out for you. Also, thanks to the folks at Trainual. And if you want to learn about working with me and coaching with me, you can always book a call with me directly at krismurray.com. Thanks, everybody, so much. And we'll talk to you next time. Take care and God bless. I hope you liked this episode of Childcare Rockstar Radio. If you did, please leave a review and share it with someone you know to help spread the word to friends in our industry and on social media. Childcare business success is my passion, and I'm honored to be on this journey with you. As a thank you for listening, I've got a new video training that shows you how to add 6 figures or more of new revenue to your program in the next 60 days by improving your hiring and your enrollment systems. To watch my new video, just go to www.fixmyschool.com. That's fixmyschool.com. Thanks. Take care and God bless.